Wow, I just heard Joel talking about a certain lunch. I've never heard someone so aroused in my life. Blame Sean. He just brought up some lunch at Cronulla in the shop. Oh, okay.
Talk us through it then. What is it? What's on the plate?
Okay. So it is halloumi,
Yep.
bacon,
Yep.
egg,
Yep.
toast,
Sounds pretty
lathered in butter, avocado.
Yeah, avocado, underrated.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Your food judgment might be good, but I'm gonna take you to task on something right off the bat. I had a really interesting week this week. So Sunday night, I'm flicking around. So my week's done. We did our show. Thank you everyone for watching again on Foxtel and on KO. And we're same time next week, last of the Sunday night games, and then we'll let you know what's going on next week. Flicking around, and I see Shawshank Redemption on one of the Foxtel movie channels. I've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
No way.
Never seen it.
What?
Because I know this is a one of those great movies. I want to savour it, and I've
Are
just
you kidding yourself?
just let me talk. Let me talk, okay? So I watched it, and it's a perfect movie, right? And anyone who's seen it, I'm not saying anything you don't know. And I'm floating on a cloud the next day. It got into my bones, that movie. Everything about that movie, the friendship, I don't want to get, well, it's 30 years old. I can spoil it. The escape, the end, the way it was shot.
Rita Hayworth.
Everything was perfect about that movie. I mean,
There's a butt cut.
I don't know how the poster stays up. Okay, so I'm floating on air. Really had a great Monday night. I remember a recommendation Joel Kane gave me, Adolescence on Netflix. Well, I thought, I've watched a prestige movie, let's watch a prestige show. And I watched all four. I have never felt so low in my life the next day.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. But Joel, can you never recommend anything again? I felt miserable.
Yeah.
And that kid, by the way, looks like your youngest son, and
You know what? I thought that same thing.
looks exactly like you, and he's going to be a
I
star.
was going to say, how much do you want to have on him to be an absolute superstar?
But it's Netflix. It's a brilliant show.
Heavy.
Oh, heavy.
Can I share my asterisks with you? I had not seen the entirety of the show. So I'd seen 2 episodes out of 4, and I knew I was onto a good thing. So I understand where you come from.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought where you were going with
heavy
the
show.
with the Shawshank reference. I thought you were going sort of that his shirt was very Andy Dufresne sort of
it is too.
prison garb.
You really are obsessed with his clothes, aren't you? You seem to mention it every week.
You do know that Tom Hanks was offered the role of Andy Dufresne?
He turned it down.
Turned it down.
No, I think
He did.
I know. I believe you what I'm saying. I think, and Tom Hanks would have made it. He would have been great. But Tim Robbins, he had an arrogance to him that I think was perfect, like a quiet arrogance, which I think was perfect for that role.
So good decision or bad decision from Tom Hanks?
Well, hang on. That was Forrest Gump territory.
Forrest Gump.
I was going to say
Forrest Gump.
he's turned
So
something. He's
he
turned
did.
that
He
down.
turned
for
it down
something.
for Forrest Gump.
He would have been
Play
pretty
on that,
amazing.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just it was funny.
The first time you've ever seen it.
From start to finish, I'd seen the first hour once a long time ago, and
You got to commit. It is, what is it, 3?
No,
High
2 hours
twos?
17 without ads.
Was that all?
And I was in for 3, and then I paused it about an hour in because I'm thinking I never want this movie to end.
What's his mate's name on the Green Mile? It's not Green Mile. What's
Red.
Red.
Yeah. All right.
Is there
Anyway,
a cigar involved in that movie?
a cigar, no, but there were the beers. Best scene of the movie, the beers on the roof. Anyway, we'll have more reviews from 30-year-old movies next week here on Sportsbet on Get 'em Onside. Why? I just had to bring that up straight away because if he recommends something, just be warned, you're going to feel miserable at the end of it.
Please, come on.
We felt miserable at the
Have you
end of
seen
it, so-
Schindler's List? It's a beauty.
It's Sean's favourite comedy. Rather, Joel's favourite comedy, sorry.
Leave me out of this.
2 out of 3 again. We touched on it on Sunday night. Can we just put a ban on you? Oh, okay. We're going straight to we got to talk about. I assume this is what we're talking about. We need to put a ban. No $3.25 best bets, please.
He got greedy, didn't he?
Oh, I know he was dudded, but $3.25. Come on.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
I just found it so hard last week. and the results speak for themselves. Like, it was upset city. I had no clarity at all.
If we go one more Meatloaf, I'm going to get a little artisan market where we only need 2 of the 3 to cop.
Why don't we do that already?
Oh,
Yeah,
we won't pay,
we
won't
wanna-
pay anything,
we
though.
want-
It'll be money back.
No, it won't. You'll get something out of it. You'll get a little drink out of it.
But hang on, so you basically get 3 shots at it. You've only got to get 2. It doesn't matter which 2.
Any 2 of the 3.
Hey, you want to put it up, put it up.
Well, let's get into those areas where we serve. We need something.
Let me ask you this, boys. So we've debuted this week.
He's in a big arm crossing mood today.
Yeah, I know.
He's been doing it all morning.
It's bad body language. We've debuted this week the big boys because there's a real trend.
Big boppers.
The big boppers are scoring tries.
Yep.
So, weekly hub, Tino, Payne Haas, Tarpany,
Yes.
Vanilla Blake, Liska Mawali, Terrell May, X amount to score. Check it out, NRL Weekly Hub. Do you like that or not?
I saw you had it last week, didn't it? Did it get up or it got very close to getting
very
up?
close. Very, very close.
Hey, off the back of your saying it was a very tricky round, can we look at some? I've got a graphic here around how the record against the line and totals is going so far.
Oh, good.
this year.
Yes.
Very, very interesting stuff. So, and I've actually borrowed your template here, Dan, for the graphic. Very noir, sort of black and white, very dark and gloomy.
Right, okay.
We're looking at the season on the left.
Very
Underdogs.
Sin City for our movie buffs.
Underdogs, if you're backing them blind, you're well in front, 56%, 18 from 32. And the unders, this is the big one, 19 from 32 for the season, just under 60%, round 4. Now, we touched on this on Sunday night as well, but didn't have the graphic ready to go. 7 from 8 underdogs, and the unders 6 from 8. And the 2 that
Very
went over
nice.
landed on 50, so they only just went over. And the reason that I bring this up, I'm not sure this week is an unders week, and this could be our talking point as well. With the potential crackdown, I'm worried about how you approach certainly the first game of the week. So Thursday night, we've got a lot of lunatics on that Canberra side of the ledger. I'm worried that they might overreact here, Dan.
Well, I think you might have overreacted because I understand they came out and they said players should have been sin bit last week that weren't, and that's not going to happen again. But that doesn't. We're all worried we're going to get a repeat of Magic Round from 2 or 3 years ago.
It's not going to be that.
It was. I don't see that.
I see somewhere in between.
I thought there were 2 incidents last week. I was calling one of them. I can't remember what it was, thinking that's probably a sin. I don't offer my opinions on what something should be a sin bin or not in a call. That's for the experts. But I did think that's a sin bin in most games.
Reed Marnie.
I can't remember. I didn't do that game.
Mate, Reed Marnie clocked someone high and jammed Atkinson. Mate,
I don't think he got him high.
Mate, I love Reed Marnie.
Jordan
but
Ricky, that's the
Police
one I'm
Academy.
thinking of. Yeah.
Anyway,
Jordan Ricky should have been sin bin. That was pretty obvious he was. I always think of it like this. Is it pretty obvious they're going to get suspended? And Jordan Ricky, point of the shoulder into the head, you knew he was going to cop something.
Yeah.
you may be driving home, maybe it's the M5, maybe it's populated heavily and you're thinking, oh, geez, what's going to happen? And you're hearing this right now and you're getting the tips and you're thinking, how do I know the tips? I'm going to go home, I've got to change nappies and do all that sort of stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. This man here, the feed has you sorted. Dan Ganane, what about this? Have a look at this. Presence under a tree.
Has he got his graphic,
him.
has he?
I do
That's
love
not
the left
graphic I
side.
wanted, but okay.
Shawnee, left-hand side.
Yeah, following.
Hey, yes.
Look at this.
Yes.
Green tick central.
Look at that.
Tick, tick,
Look
tick,
at that.
boom.
And as
Mate,
people
this
that heard
bloke,
Triple M on Sunday might realise, I didn't have that last 3-legged multi. I thought I would be clever, and my investment, that was just to put up on the feed. But I actually added Manly minus 8.5 to the list. So that's why maybe
Hello to Sean Lane.
terse,
Hello
a
to Sean
little
Lane.
terse
sorry.
on Sunday.
Question without notice, and apologies to those who aren't watching on YouTube or KO. Can we please get the first graphic back up?
Yeah, I don't
please?
have any follow. I don't follow anyone.
Can we please get the first? Here we go.
What about the arrogance of it?
6,100 followers, 0. Not you.
Doesn't care.
Not me.
No.
Duck egg.
I want that guy who keeps getting the 200-to-1 multis. What's his name?
NRL multi.
Follow him.
He'll be the one I follow.
Why don't you just
I'll
do
give
this?
him a month. He's got a hit in a month, but I'll follow him.
Can we make the Dan Ganane follow a monthly
I'll do it
thing?
right
so
now.
follow one person a month.
Why are you obsessed with this?
Well, because it's arrogance.
It is.
But why? No, you perceive it as arrogance.
Yes.
Sportsbet pay me to be an ambassador or whatever the term is. It's a contractually obligated role, and I'm very happy to play it.
Hey,
you're playing it well. You're playing it very well.
Joel, that reminds me.
Doesn't say I have to follow people as part of my contract.
That reminds me, you're an ambassador. Have you done the training yet?
Tomorrow. Full price. Is this it? Has he got a bald-headed eagle or something? Is he?
That's him.
All right, there you go. I now follow someone.
One person. Dagenane follows one person.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
And
stuff.
he's got a month to deliver.
Okay, otherwise we change him out.
He gets,
Perfect.
That's all right.
I think it's great.
We're out of the game here, but let's a quick one. Payne Haas. We're now starting to talk about Origin.
That's great.
I'll tell you what. Either footy's been great this year, or we've actually become disciplined in the media. We haven't talked about Origin, and it's only like 6-7 weeks away. Anytime.
Old mate will be sitting here next week.
That really tickled Joel, by the way.
It was sitting here.
That idea that I just had off the cuff really tickled it. Okay, Payne Haas on the verge of Kangaroos defection to play for Samoa.
Yeah.
I'm on the camp of I don't care. And when I say I don't care, go to Samoa. That's great. That's great. That's better for international rugby league.
How many
Origin
tickets
will
you got?
survive.
I'm coming with you.
Hey?
I don't care. Good on him.
Couldn't give a rat.
Nah.
Well, we covered that subject well, so let's now just awkwardly promote the Sunday show. Again, it's downloaded pretty quickly or available for download pretty quickly on the podcast, so you can get it in the usual channels, YouTube, KO, Fox League, straight after Matty Johns. And it's another good game on Sunday night, Canterbury, Newcastle. I've got a feeling I don't know about you blokes, and we'll talk about it in a second. I've got a feeling it's going to be a very tight contest. And should have a nice big audience, so stick around, Matty and then us.
Can I interject? Because it's not a coal miners correspondence, doesn't need its own segment, but a lot of people have been asking, Dan, where is the episode? If you choose to watch it on YouTube, where is it getting uploaded? Because we've had a few channels in our history.
Yes.
There was the old Sportsbet channel. We're not on there. There was a Get 'em Onside channel. We're not on there anymore. You need to go to Feed Nation X Sportsbet. That's where all the shows are living. You'll find us in the back pocket, the rest of them. Hit subscribe, and then it will just pop up in your feed.
Oh, and my Sportsbet 3 Dalian points this week goes to Hammy. Very good plugging.
Excellent plug. Hey,
yeah, well done.
That's 2 in a row he's given. Absolutely
and the sporting too, by the way.
And
Radio.
the numbers tell the story.
Yes.
All right, very good.
Thank you, Hammy.
Time for this. Now, long-time viewers, this might feel familiar because I did this one a long time ago. I'm rehashing. In fact, I might have done it on a radio show many, many years ago. But it's reared its ugly head again, and that's why I have to revisit it again. And that is Caddy Steve Williams continuing to mooch off Tiger Woods. He's going around flogging a book just in time for the Masters, so clever marketing. Telling journos more juicy stories from his long run as Tigers caddy. And right now, whatever your favourite podcast is in the States, chances are Steve Williams is going to be part of it. Telling Tiger stories over and over, profiting off Tiger. And it's all, there you go, here he is. Mate, there you go, just keeps going. Steve Williams. Tiger, like a tiger, like Mahatma coat 30 years ago. And it's all to sell this book, right, which is out just in time. No, sorry, guys, wrong one. That's the one from 2015. This is the book. Yeah, that's the new one, Together Reward. It doesn't even try and hide the Tiger references anymore. From the title, it's there. And if books aren't your thing, that's okay, because you can listen to his podcast from 2022, where, guess what, he tells a lot of Tiger stories. Now, the funny thing is, I like the bloke. He's a great storyteller, and Fox would be well served going and hiring this guy to be part of their coverage for the majors, all the majors exclusive on Fox this year, and sit next to Gowie, because he's a great broadcaster. You can see it there. I'd love to have the beer with the guy, but please, Steve, can you put an end to this cottage industry? You made $9 million off this guy just for carrying his bag. We get it, he sacked you. You're dirty. We all get dirty at the people that sacked us. But how many times, Steve, do you need to squeeze this lemon? Do you think if you keep talking and telling stories, we're all going to think you weren't aware that Tiger was philandering and that all his acts of cheating on his wife, you weren't aware? No one cares, Steve. No one believes you, by the way, but no one cares. You're not the one, so I'm even knocking over water now. That's how passionate this gets me. Do you need more money? Or is this relevance deprivation syndrome? Please, Steve, you seem like a champion bloke, but enough. How many yachts can you water ski behind, as they say in Wall Street? Please, enough. Enough Tiger stories. I get it. He pulled out the club on the freeway to practice. It's a great story. I've heard it 16 times. Please, enough.
Yep.
Canberra versus Cronulla is our first game on a Thursday night. Not a bad Thursday to start things off. Canberra coming off 2 straight losses, and Cronulla, another humbling loss against a good team. Another humbling loss against a good team. They are also 2-2. Cronulla's got the record over Canberra. They won their last 3, including a 40-0 hiding last year. Kyle Little. We were told his name was Kyle Little, then he introduces himself to Katy Perry as Kale Little, so it's Kale. That's our rule here. If you introduce yourself to Katy, whatever you introduce yourself to a pop star as, that's your name.
He might have been nervous. Surely he was a bit nervy.
Yeah, but I think he knows how to get his name, nervous or not.
I'd be very nervy in front of Katy Perry.
I don't think you'd be saying, hi, my name's Sean Omrod.
Can you say my name?
Sean Ormerod, but I'm saying that was the whole... Canberra, Morgan Smithies is back for them. I can't get a read on this game. Who wants to take the new ball here? Because I sense Cronulla is better, but I also think Canberra is going to come off the block, fly off the blocks here.
I'm happy to take a little bit of the shine off this. Here's a statement. I think the Raiders should be favourites in this game. The market is completely wrong here. Only very, very slight. They are begging to go back to GIO here. They went to Brookvale Oval. Remember, I was banging on about just forgetting that game. They had to go down there. A lot of things went against them. And then they had to go to Townsville, which, as we know, is a very tough place to go. And the Cowboys were just really stinging for a win, and finally got there. But it could have easily went the other way, that game. Wasn't much in it. This is perfectly set up for them now against the Sharky side, who I still have a lot more questions than answers about the Sharks. Iro out. Stone Street, you don't get enough out of him compared to Katoa. They put a lot of emphasis last year on that back 5, those tough carries. I think they're lacking there. The one thing I'm worried about, and we touched on it, is the potential crackdown, because there is some lunatics in that Canberra side. And I just want to, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence to be able to really steam into it, where a high shot, whether it be an accident or otherwise, could result in 10 minutes in the bin, because the proof is in the first half pudding at Brookvale Oval. What happens there? That's the only caveat with the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they should be favourites, but I think it's flip of the coin.
Very slight favourites.
Yeah, it's flip of the coin, and it's too big a start for the reasons that you've already mentioned. GIO, they've been to Brookvale, they've been up to Townsville. You know, you spoke about no Iro, no Talakai.
Pressure on Nico. I know it was only one game last week, but
put the 6 on him. Just take the pressure off him and give him the 6. I know it means nothing, but just put the 6 on him. Give Trindle the 7, just for something, a statement.
Interesting and a big change, as I said. Iro out, and Hiroti, who is 25 games in about 10 years. He'll plug a hole, but that could be a problem, that area, with Canberra's centres. Pretty big threats, including Matt Timokor. He's one of them, as we look at some of his fine work.
Big game, boys, isn't it? Like, both these teams, even after Vegas, I know Sharks lost, but they both come from Vegas, and you'd be thinking blue sky for both. Loser of this is in a bit of barney rubble.
2-2.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a massive. I know it sounds like a big statement going into round 5. Since I got around the Raiders and also Corey, he's been average the last couple of weeks. So again, they've got a bit to prove in front of their home crowd. They're very, very hard to beat down there.
I think Ricky's going to have them up. I mean, you saw that Matt Timokor footage, and that leads me to my flair. Woo! Sebastian Chris, first try scorer on the other side. Cronulla have leaked a lot of tries on their right. Seb Chris has 3 tries this year. He's a real poacher of tries. And I actually think Cronulla might win, but I think Canberra is going to come out flying. I worry that they played a game in 88% humidity last week. I worry about them and the Cowboys, and it's only a 5-day preparation for Canberra. So whatever you do, do it. Yeah, you see, didn't take that into account.
No, I didn't.
Penrith and North Queensland is our Friday 6 p.m. game live on Fox, and Nathan Cleary returns. No Brian To'o, but it's a net positive, obviously, with Cleary back. Line 12.5. Well, Penrith 1-3, first time since 2016. They've conceded 118 points. That's their worst in 20. The last time they conceded that many in the first 4 games, 2003, which actually wasn't a bad year for them.
Yeah,
not a bad year at all. And North Queensland, they've conceded 20 plus in the last in all 4 games. They're conceding 31 a game. So you got teams, Sean, 2 teams that can't defend. It seems. Isaiah Yeo 250, I would consider that the sort of milestone that will matter. Some 150 is one of those, it's a number milestone, but 250 is a big one. He's the first Panther to ever do it. Regardless of that.
First Panther, ever.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Steve Carter was the top game player until Yeo early, I think late last year. I got Penrith winning this comfortably. What do you got?
Do you?
Yep.
Can you get it bigger than 12.5? I can't get it bigger than 12.5. That's a big old start. And I mean, you look at it on paper, you can probably see how it's arrived at that, but they aren't going any good. And I think we are undervaluing the fact that they're playing at CommBank Stadium massively.
That's true.
For a team to travel from interstate and go there, as opposed to Penrith Park, is just it's chalk and cheese, really. I don't think it's that threatening. We know how much of a great stadium it is as well, so all the facilities there are great, not very threatening, as I said. They're favourites, but without... So you throw in the fact that they're already missing Edwards. I know they get Cleary back, which is the biggest upgrade you can get in the NRL. No Edwards still. Brian To'o, massive out for what he provides that team. And you're telling me Jake Clifford, who had the game, probably his career last week, he put the whole team on his back last week to get that win. He's got a big boot on him. You're telling me that they're not hammering Dane Laurie, he looked very, very shaky under the high ball. He's going to be a target. And 12.5 can't get it anywhere near that.
I think that woke them up, that South loss. I think that's as low as their season gets, Penrith. And again, Cowboys in the heat last week, albeit 6-day prep, so not as bad as Canberra.
Yeah, I put on the feed last week, which I probably am wrong on this. Well, I am wrong because I said $5.50 Panthers, now's the time to strike. They're $7 now, aren't they? So I was wrong. It was too early. No Luai, no Taruva, no Fisher-Harris. And the list goes on.
Wow, we've got some Cowboys believers.
Well, they can win it. They can absolutely win it. But my concern is they love this bloke. They love him, don't they? Isaiah, like they love him. My concern is inexperienced Panthers. They're chasing them. They are chasing inexperienced Panthers. That was Garner in the centres. Here's Cole versus Tedesco. They're chasing him. Last week, Tolau. They are chasing these... Here's Tolau versus Kalamatangi. It's Hungry Hippo.
Yeah. So you were going the other side for Panthers there. That was their left edge defence.
No, I'm chasing the inexperienced side. So it had been Garner, it had been Cole, then Tolau comes up. The teams are chasing it, and Ivan's finding it hard. It's the hardest place to defend. Cleary comes back, so I want to chase the other side this week.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. The right has been their issue. Was last year as well. About 60% of their tries last year was against that or conceded on that right-hand side of the field. And the trend is sort of continuing this year. Quick flare from me. Jackson Purdue, we were sort of pretty harsh on him the first couple of weeks in defence, but in attack...
Wow, what a price.
Last week, with the ball in hand, he's a gun. He's got wheels.
That's too big.
And I'm giving them a chance to keep it close. I don't think they can probably win the game. The Panthers' second half last week really scared me. If there was an extra 20 minutes in that game, I think they might be winning.
If you said to me Penrith wins 40-6, who's going to be the Cowboys' lone try scorer? I'd say Purdue. Some weird length of the field job.
Yeah, $3.70. And he plays on that left edge. I'm not sure about the Panthers right.
I would accept that if he made that his best bet for the week, but I wouldn't accept it if it came from you. Because You've let us down with... Everyone gets one crack at a...
I've got it right every week. I've dropped the ball.
I'm saying you
because
get
Saab didn't pass a daily.
extravagant one. You get one extravagant one a year.
I'll accept it from him. All right.
Thanks,
Favourite
Dad.
child.
Thanks for accepting.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, let's go to the big one on Friday night. Can't wait for this. And the prodigal son returns. It's been... I tell you what, they couldn't have timed this any better. Because this game's normally round 3. Round 5, Roosters need a win. South Sydney are rolling, but Latrell Mitchell is back. What are you laughing at?
Is the draw every year based on when Latrell comes back?
It feels like that, doesn't it?
That's what it feels like.
Feel like that, yeah.
When's Latrell back? Yep, okay, we're going to go Roosters, Rabbits right there.
We'll keep it coming.
Can I give you something?
This is huge.
You know, they have played 233 matches in their history. Since 1908. The first game was decided by 1 point. In their history, Dan and Sean, here's Jai Gray. I love this. I love the fact they've stayed with him. In their history, you know the points scored. What's the balance there?
Oh, here we go. It's gonna be even or something.
3 points.
Yeah.
3 points.
That's incredible.
In over 100 years of play.
That is incredible, Shug. Hey, how many times are we going to hear Joel?
Hey, okay. If he lights fire, which he probably will, and I can see him scoring, Latrell Mitchell, why would you not keep him there?
Well, they've got two pretty good centres. One's just not available in Campbell Graham. I actually believe Wayne Bennett when he's... But you can't win a comp with Jai Gray at fullback. You can win a comp with... Not that I think they're going to win the comp. You've got to admit that Jai Gray's been wonderful.
Who was the fullback when they just about had Penrith?
Adam Dewey.
No.
Adam Dewey.
No. Blake
Dewey?
No. Blake Taff.
Blake Taff.
Oh, you're right. Adam Dewey was 2019.
You know why I remember
My apologies.
Because I might have backed him to win the Clive. Terrible bet.
Yeah, and they did.
But he was about 50 to 1.
But they didn't win. You can win the comp with him at fullback.
Yeah, of course you can.
Jai Gray, you can.
Well, because the point is, you've got Latrell in your side doing the hell what he wants. Left, right, doesn't matter.
He's just about the world's best left centre.
Say it. Say the word.
Okay. Hybrid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Dan.
I was going to point out that Latrell did something that a lot of us at big points have done to make it look like we're thinner, and that is had a haircut. Because Latrell's had the haircut, and I thought, hang on, he's cut a corner here that we've all done. You've done it, I've done it. Right, where you go. You look leaner when you have a haircut, but no,
I'll give you another cue.
He seriously looks lean.
I'll show you another clue.
He looks great.
They call it the jowls, right? So this is the makeup pack.
Oh, here we go.
And when you're carrying the double chin,
Real peak behind
you've
the
got to go
stuff.
bang, bang, bang.
Well, you can have a shave too, Joel. That might help as well.
I asked the coal mine about that.
All right, okay.
Good luck to anyone. If you've just changed the channel there, you've just seen that.
Now, how do we think this? Now, in all honesty, we've indulged a bit, so we better get to these games. How's this game going to go? I can't believe South's only giving up. It was 1.5, but that was a silly line. It's gone up last I saw to 2.5. I gather that's the Latrell factor and the fact that he's at 3 and people seem to like that. Connor Watson back for the Roosters, so that's not unimportant.
Yeah, Monday morning, or afternoon, Shug, I spoke to you on radio and I said beware. I think I might have said just beware of the Chooks. I thought I was going to be on them, but then they are a completely different side, the Bunnies, with that man Latrell in it. And I actually, it's 2.5 now. I actually make them slightly shorter. The Chooks have probably been their own worst enemy the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't know. It's out of core. That's a leg up for the Bunnies. I think he's just going to be so fired up, Latrell. That is a scary proposition.
Roosters have conceded 126 in 4 games, most in their history after 4 games.
Really?
It's hard to, I found that hard to believe too. And as I put my earpiece back in awkwardly, Joel, Roosters have won their last 4 against South, so where are you going here?
That doesn't matter. Look, I'm petrified of Latrell. I know he's in for a big game. Yep. He looks like he's in for a big game. But I've been very bullish around early in the year that the Roosters would finish on top of the ladder ahead of the Bunnies. So I'm being stubborn.
You are being stubborn.
I'm being stubborn. That's the only reason why I'm tipping the Roosters. I've got no idea. But the try bet, given the fact that they've gone over 100 years and they are separated by 3 points, try bet either team to win by 4 points or less. That's why I'm playing it. But honestly, I've got no idea.
Can't be stubborn in punting.
Yeah, I know, but I have to be on this one.
Okay. Parramatta versus St George Illawarra. This is 3 p.m. Saturday. Now, this was 3 p.m. Saturday late last year, 44-40. I sense we're going to get nothing like this, Sean, but I think we might get points in this game. And I'll get to my flair in a moment. You and I differing opinions because I think the Dragons might turn it on a little here, but you are thinking other things.
I'm with Parramatta. I won't tease best bets, but stick around for best bets later in the show. It's gonna have, if I could do an eel noise, I would do one, but I can't. So let's move on.
Is it because Sportsbet have put a market up for their first ever win?
Yeah.
Same thing with the Dolphins.
Yep.
Is that why?
No, it's not why. Dragons are a bad favourite.
Yep.
It's at Combank Stadium 2 weeks ago. Should have beat the Bulldogs. And I think we can all say the Bulldogs' defence is rock solid. They couldn't break that down. I don't think, even with a little bit less ball than they had on that occasion against this Dragon side, they're scoring points.
Quick question, boys. Hell hath no fury like a scorned eggs.
Yeah, this is what I think.
NRL Weekly Hub, we've put up a market. Most tries out of Gutherson and Lomax.
Yes.
There's also the draw option. Where would you want to be? Draw, Gutherson or Lomax?
I'm with Zach purely because I'm sticking up for Eels.
No,
Gutho.
Gutho.
Yeah.
Gutho. And that gets to my flair. I think he just sat on his glasses and they've just broken.
He sat on something.
You know what?
There was a snap there.
I have bought this year about 8 $20 pairs of glasses.
Right. Christian Tuipulotu, I hear. Christian Tuipulotu a double and Clint Gutherson anytime. This is kind of dependent on the Dragons getting a big score, which, you know, Parramatta, Manly put the Q in the rack last week. Christian Tuipulotu on that wing, Parramatta have let in a lot of points down that wing, and I think Gutho, he will be desperate to win, but desperate to score as well. 5:30 game. I think Dolphins are going to win this straight up. Gold Coast versus Dolphins, but I've been, like, his stubbornness for the Roosters is my stubbornness for the Dolphins. I think they're better than what they're showing. Sean?
I'm not so sure. 2 weeks ago, I would have probably agreed with you, but what I've seen since then of the Finns, I cannot get around them at all. They now lose Tommy Gilbert, who is their forward leader, brings some real aggression, because that's where they were getting smashed. They couldn't have played any better last week in the forward pack. Really took it to the Broncos. And we're still nowhere near in that game. They are so lucky it was slippery underfoot. The Broncos could have done a number. They somehow covered that line thanks to Jake Gavrilo. I'm with the Titans in a big way here. My flair, Jaden Campbell, he is airborne at the moment. He can take intercepts. He can go himself. He can score off a kick. He can do it all. He's such a good player. He's exactly what you want in a player. He wants to be involved. Him to score a try. Titans 13 plus.
Dolphins have won 3 of their 4 versus Gold Coast, and Sean, you are not going to like my best bet. Broncos Tigers.
I will, Dan.
Very good. Thank you for your support. I worry about this one for the Tigers here because you get the sense Brisbane are going to really put the cleaners through some teams this year if they're a little weak. And no, Jerome Luai is a big out for the Wests Tigers. You can start here. Joel, Latu Fainu is the halfback.
Yes, he is the halfback, and he'll probably play on the left-hand side. Outside him, named is Dewey. I don't know if he'll play or not. He withdrew.
You wouldn't think so.
So maybe Fatape potentially, or Jack Bird maybe. And then you've got Laulili, who I think is a very good young player, but he's so hard on the edges in the National Rugby League to defend. So the Broncos, they love that side. Ben Hunt, Reynolds, you've got Walsh at the back, Cobbo. Yep. They love that side. So I've got grave concerns there.
So do I. Any danger we can just get a fast Suncorp track? Because Reece Walsh, he is begging for that. And he played very much within himself last week. Slippery conditions, again, not suited to his game. I'm just waiting for him to go nuts. And for the Broncos to go nuts as well. I think they're in for a big win. And
I'll tell you what is spicy, Haas versus May. Probably the 2 best props. Although you got Tino as well. So 2 out of the 3. But this is a good battle here. Canberra did a good job on Haas, so it is possible to at least nullify him. It's hard to beat him. My goodness, he's a beast. But this guy will give you 65 of the best. So they're going to need him to be at peak performance. And you've got Haas, you've got Carrigan, you've got a thundering herd at the Broncos, whereas May, with all due respect to Borley's doing a nice job, is a bit one out.
minutes. She's that big, isn't it?
So he played 80 last week.
Wow.
So due to the sort of bench numbers there, he had to play 80 minutes. That average has gone up. Looking at averages here, Payne Haas, feature on mate. He's flying. Everything else is very, very similar. And we've been waxing lyrical about how good Haas is going. Everyone's on to how good May is as well, but those numbers do it justice. He is flying at the moment.
Your
on
flair,
those
please.
two, by the way, the flair, yes, the flair is here, but I will say this, NRL Weekly Hub, check out the forwards, May, Haas to score, others, Haddon Fanua, Blake, Tarpany, etc. My flair is that right-hand side.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, Tony Staggs and Selwyn Cobbo, 3+. I just got to, it's really hard. It's really hard as the youngsters combine, so that's where I'm going.
All right, let's go to this.
Thank you, Dan. Well, it's going to blow up. We know it's going to blow up, and the world defaults to woke, it defaults to complaining and up in arms. Everyone's already off the bit around this NRL crackdown, so to speak. But you know what? I don't hate it. I got whacked in the head 1,000,000 times, and I don't want kids to be hit in the head. So I'm actually for it, right? I don't love that at all. I don't love that at all. People are torn about that. Fair game, people are saying. I don't love that. But anyway, my solution, proposed solution, is that when the 10 minutes in the bin came out, might have been 50 years ago, time in play was far less, right? So pro rata, it's a bigger punishment. And then you add to that, the coaches are too good, right? So you pay a huge punishment. My idea would be, for all sin bins, that go to the bin, but the moment the team scores a try,
one
score, you come back on.
I like that. We've had that before. I think you've brought that to us before, and I think we liked it then, and I like it now.
But we know Monday people are going to be blowing up and carrying on.
Try.
Right?
What about penalty goal? If I take the 2,
well,
play back on.
You know what? I'm open for discussion on that. But Dan, what do you think about that?
I like it. No, I do like it because we get that curious case every now and then. It's either a penalty try or it's a sin bin. You can effectively have both. You know, effectively a sin bin is the value of a penalty try, if you know what I mean. So we're not sending you to the sin bin, but you get 6 points instead. Oh, yeah. So we've kind of done that in those rare scenarios. No, I like it. I like it.
Good.
Okay, very good. No argument. So, I mean, there's no point continuing the discussion. We're on a unity ticket. Manly versus Melbourne is our Sunday game, and it's at Brookie again. My word, don't we get some Brookvale football?
It's a big game.
This is a big game. Manly beat them last year. No Tom, obviously. Lehigh Hopewadi is as good a replacement as they've ever had in the number 1 jersey. Clayton Fa'alalo fills the Hopewadi position. Melbourne's still weakened, although bit of trickery. Now, I think it could be a bit of funny buggers, but he might be broken hand.
He's playing,
2 weeks.
He's playing.
Number 22.
He's playing.
Jerome Hughes. This might be a case of wait till an hour before kick-off before making your investment. You've told me that 3 times. You want to say it again?
I actually said 4 times. You weren't listening the 4th time.
So it's hard to make a judgment on this game. Manly without Turbo. I'll just leave it at this and you can take over, Joel. 5 of their last 9 they've won without Tom Trebojevic.
Yes, and I'll tell you this, Lehigh Hopewadi debuted last year against the Melbourne Storm with Jerome Hughes. And they won the game.
All right.
They won the game. So it's a big game.
There is only upside in the Melbourne Storm -5.5 because you're getting Jerome. Well, I make it about 5.5, maybe 6.
Upside in -5.5?
Yeah.
Oh, on the plus train.
No, if you get Jerome Hughes, there's so much upside in that. I can't get over no Turbo. This is a suitable game for Melbourne. They're off a loss. Bellamy was filthy last week, so had a fair bit of ball. They want a fast track, the way Pappy plays, the way they like to play. It's fast paced. I don't think Manly without Turbo can keep up with them. I'll go back to the market expectation. Without him last 5 years, should have won 26, have only walked away with 21.
Explain that.
There's a big gap. Well, everyone's rated, and you go into a game.
So if we're $1.90,
to toss of the coin,
we're 0.5,
you're
are
in
we?
for half a win. I'm in for half a win.
Yes.
You do that over and over and over again. Count them all up. That gives you your expected.
So they were in for how many?
26.5, sorry.
And how many did they get?
Walked away with 21. So the market still undervalues Turbo.
Yes.
And I'm going with that. And I think there's upside in Melbourne.
Okay, all right. 5.5 to me, that says 50-50. If we knew Jerome Hughes was definitely not out, are you thinking it'd be 3.5?
Well, I think the market thinks that. I'm still with Melbourne.
All right, what about you?
Manly at the plus.
All right, who's got the flair?
I've got the flair. Nice sunny day at Brookvale Oval. This just screams out Ryan Pappenhausen. Scored last week on a wet track.
Wow.
And the Storm 13 plus.
Okay.
Ricardo flair.
Here's a stat. By the way, there was a stat that popped up. Manly have not conceded a first half point at Brookvale this year. 66-0. Yeah, 66-0.
Wow.
Haven't played much, let's be honest.
That's a great stat.
But my stat of the day, Melbourne, coming off a loss, have won 13 in a row.
Yeah, right edge is a problem for the Melbourne Storm. It's a problem.
Canterbury versus Newcastle. We've only got a couple of minutes here. Satili Tupanua still... right edge of Melbourne is a problem. You are right. Satili Tupanua is serving a suspension. Canterbury, first 4-0 start since 1993. Brings back wonderful memories for people of a certain age. Only their second game. Great decision. A core Sunday night game. But I think they actually will get a crowd here because the Canterbury fans are agog at the moment. Newcastle, they're coming off a bye, averaging 14 points a game. I don't see many points in this one. This would have been my best bet if it wasn't the Sunday night game, but we like to have our three-way thing wrapped up nice and quickly. I can't see a lot of points in this game, particularly Canterbury still have players missing.
I can't get it to 6.5. It feels a bit of a trap game if you want to be on the Bulldogs. They were so good last week, but still no Burton, Kikau. Kiraz is named on an extended, watch that. But also Satili Tupanua as well, who's been really, really good with that injection off the bench for the Bulldogs. Newcastle off a bye, 6.5. I could probably get around the Knights there to keep it close.
Okay.
Actually, I think Canterbury, that was a big energy game last week. I know they're an energy team. I can see Ponga doing some damage here.
Let's talk about for and against. This is the case for the Newcastle Knights and the Bulldogs so far this year. So defensively, look at this. The Knights and the Bulldogs conceding around 14 points a game, which is pretty elite, and not scoring a truckload. So for me, it's the worst bet in history. We hate it. You're cheering on.
We love it, Chug.
You're cheering on the ball going dead. You're cheering on.
This is our first one of these this year.
Yeah. So therefore, unders is certainly a play, but exact total points 0 for the Newcastle Knights. Just a play.
That is the most.
Just a play.
It's a great one if you hit it, and I've hit it. But I've had my heart broken many times. It's a terrible way to watch football. Now we're going to hang on.
$31.
Hang on. Woo! I'm not saying it's not an interesting bet. Sunday night, we're watching that game as we get ready to do our Sunday night show after Matty Johns.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
His mood is going to be dependent. Let's hope if you're not going to win, let's just hope the Knights score within the first 5 minutes. Let's just end it.
Okay, free advice. I will post this now on the feed, so you don't have to search for the market. Just $31. Dreams are free.
Imagine the big Chinese meal Sunday night when that wins.
What was that little red dish you had last week?
Well,
that was a spare rib in plum sauce. Shug. Good, wasn't it?
It was the plum sauce with the bright pink.
That was
It was
great.
unnaturally pink.
Great.
It was radiating, I think is the best way to put it. Best bets. Sean Omerod.
We know wrestling's fake. Nothing fake about this.
And what would you have to say there?
2 words. Home dog, Parramatta Eels. This is so suitable for them. Combank Stadium, nice, sunny day, big crowd. I make them a toss of the coin, so we just forget about the line. You go value. Head-to-head, Parramatta, best bet.
That is your one indulgent bet for the year. Everyone's allowed one. He had his $3.25, the rule $2.47. I do declare Dolphins plus 5.5. They're not that bad. And I'm not convinced about Titans yet. Yeah, I hope they're good. Good price too, Joel Kane.
Enter at your own risk. Can you believe this? Our best bets multiplier includes Parramatta haven't won, Dolphins haven't won, and I'm going to throw you this.
Oh, yes.
The Cowboys with the start. Look, do as you please. Do as you please, folks. But that's where we're landing.
He's saying don't even look at on the Sportsbet app for the Get 'em Onside hub for the multi. It'll be a nice price. There's a couple of good ones there. That's it. We'll see you Sunday night, 9:15 New South Wales, 8:15 Queensland after the Sunday night game and Matty Johns. If you're going to punt, do it responsibly. We'll see you in a few days.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.